Hey guys, I just came in from outside, so my cheeks are red because it's so cold out there. I put my little camera out there for a little while. Still kind of trying to figure this thing out. I don't really think I like it that much. Battery goes really fast, and so, but I'll check it later. So I'm gonna have to plug it in and charge it, and, and I'll look at it later and see if I captured anything earlier. So I put some apples out. The apples are still there. So um, anyway, I wanted to talk about. Well, it's first I'll tell you what it's Monday evening. It's about 9:15 p.m. and normally I don't get on the computer that late, but I'm a little anxious because they're calling for some pretty bad. I didn't even know they were calling for some storms. I mean, it was a really nice day today. Apparently, there's even school closings in preparation for the storm, which is just like really unusual, I think. Um, so, like, up to 3 inches of rain, some high winds, and that, especially where I live, and that can take down some trees. And they are anticipating a lot of power outages. I hope not. But something told me today to get sandwich stuff. So I did. I got stuff to make sandwiches with, and I've got plenty of water. So, and I'm gonna get out my candles and my flashlights and stuff, and just and put them all on the table where so I'll know where they are and all that stuff, and and just be prepared. What does Ryan Hall y'all say? You know, don't be afraid or don't be scared. Be prepared. So, but I do have anxiety, and that does kick up. I'm not really afraid of the storm. It's more of sometimes there's a feeling of claustrophobia, like you can't get anywhere, you can't go anywhere. Not that I was gonna go anywhere anyway, but the fact that like you can't, and knowing that I have family that might be out in it due to work and whatever, that makes me worry for them. But a lot of things are getting canceled. So I'm actually wondering if their jobs are going to be. The storm is supposed to be that bad. So I don't know. I'm just finding out about it. Um, Normally I'm on top of the weather. My former daycare parents can attest to that. I'm usually right on top of the weather. So, but I wasn't for this. What I wanted to talk about in this video, and I've been wanting to do a video about it for some time, um, but it's a sensitive subject for me, because it comes with a stigma, a taboo kind of thing. Um, but I wanted to talk about depression. Okay, depression isn't what you think it is. Depression isn't just someone being sad. It is a chemical flip flop in your brain, right? And it can hit you at any time. Like yesterday was such a, was it today? Today it was so beautiful. It was so sunny. It was still chilly, but there was so much sun that it felt so good, right? And me and Sandy, we sat on the porch for a while. But and on days like that, it helps my mood. Sunshine helps anybody's mood, right? But even when I'm in my what I call my upswing, and I'm feeling good and I'm happy, um, there's always this, almost like this ache in my chest, this pull. How to describe it other than, like, if you deal with depression, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's almost like this pull in your chest, in your gut, like 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 the depression trying to bring you back down, trying to mess with your mood. um and then when, but you're able to fight it. Then when you are in your downswing, and it doesn't take much. I've learned to deal with it. I have learned after years. I finally learned how to recognize, even when it's coming on, I recognize it. So in those times, I don't take things seriously. I don't take anything that is said to heart, because I cannot trust my emotions when I'm in that downswing. So, but through God and practice, with myself, I've come to be able to deal with it. So when I'm in my downswing, it's like, okay, you just feel this weight, and you feel this, like you're in this cavern or something, and it's like trying to climb up greased walls. You don't want to be there, and you're trying everything you can just to get back to level ground. um I went on Lexapro. um I recognized that my depression was getting worse and worse and worse, sometime last year, and I went on Lexapro. um and then when my mom passed, um I only started out with 5 milligrams, and when my mom passed, I asked my doctor to increase it to 10, just to help me get through, and it has helped tremendously. I don't really know what I would have done without it. I don't think I would be handling it or whatever as well if it hadn't been for that. So, speaking of which, a couple things I need to take now. This one is just a really strong anti-inflammatory thing. Uh, it is diclofenac. It comes in gel form also. Voltaren is the brand name for it, and I can tell the difference if I skip my Lexapro. If I forget to take it, I can tell the difference. There's sometimes I'm so tired and I just go on to bed and I don't take it, but I notice the difference. I notice the difference the next day. So because I have it set, I have my alarm set to take it at the same time every day. Um, and so, and so I do little, and it might sound silly, but I try to do little things that make me happy. You know, if I'm feeling that pull from depression, I will try to paint. I will crochet. I will watch a good movie. I used to keep a box of like my favorite things. it would be my favorite DVDs, my, two or three of my favorite DVDs, my favorite snack, um, something to write on, whatever. Even would keep a camera in there because I love taking pictures. Photography is just a hobby, among several hobbies that I have. But I don't keep that box anymore. After I moved, I didn't refill the box or anything. But I've got all my favorite things. I'm surrounded by my favorite things. Well, that wind really got my face. Whoa. Anyway, I was only out there for a minute to retrieve the camera. Um, but I wanted to talk about it because I know there are a lot of people that deal with depression that you probably wouldn't even think that they deal with depression because it's not what you think it is. And it doesn't look like what you think it looks like. You know, even when I'm in my downswing, I know how to still be polite to others. I know how to still smile and greet others. You know, I guess for folks that know me really well, like really, really well, they might be able to tell if my depression's on the downswing, but I doubt it. Um, but when I'm on my upswing, that's probably mostly when they can tell that I'm different because I'm usually more different when I'm on my upswing than when I'm on my downswing. Does that make sense? Because when I'm up, I'm like really happy, really kind of just bouncy and really not shy. And I'm usually a shy person. When I'm level, I'm just me. I'm just normal. When I'm on my downswing, I'm sort of more quiet, but I still have my manners. I was just raised, I'm Southern. So, and, but I tend to get I'm more subdued when I'm on my downswing. I've been really, really up the last few days. Um, but I can tell, like, I can physically, don't know how to explain this if you don't have it. If you do, you know what I mean. But I can physically feel something like in here that feels um heavy, that feels like, and that feeling here travels where it feels just it's like a physical and an emotional feeling that combines together, and you just feel sad's not really the right word, although when I hit that downswing, the least little thing, like I started crying on my way home from the grocery store today. This song came on. I had my Elvis CD in my car, and Walk On came on, and that was my mom's song to us, that she asked us to play at her memorial. And that was her song to us. And so, I'm in the car and I'm driving and I'm fighting it. I'm listening to the song. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to take the CD out. I'm driving and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to cry. I see two deer on the side of the road. And, oh, how sweet. Look at the deer. And I'm just driving along. Nope, not going to cry. And then my brain took over. The memories took over. And while I didn't break down, I didn't pull the car over, I felt a couple of tears fall. And I might have sniffled a couple of times. And I finally was like, whatever, just let it, just do what you're going to do. You know, just telling my emotions, just do what you're gonna do, just get it over with. So I just let it happen, and then the next song came on, and it was, an upbeat song. Swing down, chariot, stop and let me ride. Swing down, chariot, stop and let me ride. Rock me, Lord, coming easy. I've got a home on the other side. Swing down, swing it down, swing it down, swing down, swing it down, swing. So I was singing that, and I was back up, and that's how it works sometimes. So if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you may have noticed that sometimes I'm more peppy, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I talk about things and sometimes I don't, but I'm just, you know, I don't know. I felt a need to come on here. Maybe there's someone that needs to hear it. Depression does not look like what you think it looks like. It's not someone sitting around crying all the time. If anything, it's just the opposite. Look at Robin Williams that's a real good example. How that was tragic. I mean, that's just tragic. Who would have thought it? You know, you know, and I've had in 2016, I've talked about this before in previous videos. I had my bout with that S word and landed my rear end in the hospital. I think it was 2 weeks before I finally got back home. That's not a place I ever want to be in ever again. So when I felt I don't want to be in that situation ever again. Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to be there for that reason. You just don't. So when I realized that it was coming, those feelings, that was coming back on me, I went and told my doctor, I need something. I'm not going down without a fight. I need something. And so, yeah. And of course, I always have God. I always have God. And it's not to say that God doesn't work through medication. So, but, I always try to, my dog's hair gets on everything. Like, I see her little pieces of hair all over my tablecloth, which means, guess what? Tomorrow it's take it off and shake it out. I don't know how her hair gets in these floors. They're hardwood floors, and the hair. I have to sweep every day. Every day I have to sweep. I'm not even kidding. And like every other day, I got to go through with a steam mop. For real. It's short hair, but still everywhere. I don't understand it. How does it get up here? She doesn't get on my tail. It's just on the edge though. So it might be where she might be putting her paws up here. Anyway, but I just wanted to say depression doesn't, when you deal with depression, it doesn't look like what you think it looks like. And it doesn't always mean that the person wants to off themselves. And it doesn't always mean that the person is always sad. It's very much to do with chemical stuff in your head. It's a feeling. For me, I can't speak for other people with it. For me, it's a physical emptiness and hurt and an emotional one, kind of all rolled, like someone just told you that somebody died, and it's kind of that feeling that you kind of struggle with constantly, um like a gut punch, yeah. And but especially when the depression is on its downswing, you really feel that. When it's on the upswing, it's mm, you don't notice it as much. Like Sunday, I was in a great mood. I felt really good Sunday. I feel really good now, but it does not, like, but I can feel that I'm kind of like this. Here's where I was Sunday, okay? Way up. And here's where I was yesterday. Here's where I am today. I'm still up, but I can feel that it's inching its way. But here's the thing though, with my Lexapro, it doesn't ever dip below anymore. And it hasn't since I started taking this sometime last year. It kind of it hits a wall or floor, and it doesn't go any further. If I forget to take my Lexapro, then it does kind of inch its way a little bit down until I take it again, and then it'll go back up. So I still deal with it, but it doesn't ever dip so low anymore that I can't handle it. It's my hope to go back down to 5 milligrams at some point. I just want to give it to at least till it's been at least a year since my mom's passing. And then I may consider going back down to 5 milligrams. We'll see. We'll see where my life is at that point. There's been so much, and nobody blames me because it's been, my mom passing, moving, unpacking, packing, unpacking, Christmas unpacking, Christmas packing up, starting a new job, leaving that job, looking for this other, getting this other job going. I've been through a lot. My life has had, like my niece said it perfectly a few months ago, I have a lot of moving parts going on in my life. There are a lot of moving parts. Not as many now as there was, but it's actually slowing down. And I'm so grateful that it's slowing down. But so it's just been a lot, a lot, a lot. So my depression has really been put to the test, you know. And so that's, I asked my doctor to increase my dosage in July, and she did. But it's my hope that this coming July I can go back down to the 5 milligrams. And I've had, people say to me, even my own sister, and this is how I felt in the beginning too. Well, I never want to get put on medication. I never want to have to take medication. I didn't either. I never wanted to have to take medication for depression because I didn't want to become dependent on it. I didn't want to change my personality. Also, at the time, I still had my daycare, and I didn't want anything to interfere with me being able to take care of those kids. You know, when I went to the doctor recently, um, she wanted to put me on Cymbalta as well, and I said, "Hey, now wait a minute, how's that going to interfere with the Lexapro?" And she says, "Oh, yeah, we don't want to do that because that'll give you serotonin syndrome, where too much serotonin." I say, "Let's not do that." Um, so I am going to be now, though, supposed to be making an appointment with a chiropractor. I've been dreading, I'm putting that off. Um, I just went to the orthopedist also, who says that I have end stage osteoarthritis in both my knees. He doesn't know how I'm walking. I don't know how I'm walking. If you saw the x-rays, you would be wondering, how is she even, what's holding me up? I don't know. I don't know. The anti-inflammatories I take really help with that. But I also have it in my arms. I have it in my hip. Now I have it in my ankles. It's just, and bless his heart, he goes, "You're only 54, so he doesn't want to do surgery, and I don't want to do surgery." And he offered me a shot while I was there, and I turned it down. Um, I turned it down for two reasons. One, he described the shot. Nothing's. And two, once I start taking them, you know, it just, it really, it just masks the problem. And I would have to keep going back every 4 to 6 months to get another one in. He said that uh, we're going to try physical therapy as well. So that's something I've been doing that anyways at home, but there's some place around here that I'm supposed to get an appointment for. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you saw those x-rays, and back when I was 23 or so, I went to an orthopedist. And then the doctor comes in, he goes, I expected to see a 73-year-old woman sitting here. My knees at 23 were already that bad. So you can imagine how much over time they've gotten worse. Yeah, it's called end stage osteo or osteo something. I forget. I'd have to pull it up and look um, real quick. I don't know if I can do that. I think it will mess up the video here. If y'all can, I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this. Let's let the camera take a minute to focus. But you see this point? There's a, okay. So this up here on the top with my knee bent, that's not supposed to look like that. See how sharp that is? That's not supposed to look like that. Let's see, where's the other one? Okay. Oh, stop. It did it again. This is one of my knees. I don't know how to, anyway, but there's nothing there. And my knees have what's called a windswept, um, a windswept appearance. And let me read to you what he says. They're, both of my knee joints go like this. This is my right side here. So they both go like, so my knees sit like this. And I don't know how. So it says lateral and sunrise views of the knees demonstrate severe medial joint space narrowing with prominent osteophytes in all three compartments. Okay. Lateral Rosenberg and sunrise views of the knees, severe lateral joint space narrowing with large osteophytes in all three compartments. There are intra-articular fragments. Severe bilateral tricompartmental osteoarthritis of the knees, worse in the right medial and left lateral compartments. That's because they are doing this. For some reason, they're both leaned the same way. Knee pain has been present for a number of years, but worse over this past year. Where is it? Yeah, no surgery happening here. Da, 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 da. And then it's got a bunch of numbers related to my knee. Severe end-stage tricompartmental degenerative change with windblown appearance. More significant narrowing lateral compartment left knee and medial compartment right knee. So he recommends physical therapy over the counter and says corticosteroid injections, HA injections, and ultimately knee replacement. Way down the road, because knee replacement is not something I want to do. I watched my mom, she went through knee replacement just before we found out she was sick, and she got an infection. And the other thing was, he did tell me when I was in the office that even with the injections, there's a chance of infection at the injection site. So that was the other thing that made me go, I'll pass. I'll pass. And as long as I can still walk, I'm not putting my body through all that. Some of y'all may have noticed in some of my videos that I may seem like I walk almost with my legs straight. Sometimes I do. Um, it's not that in my mind, I think I'm bending my knees, but in reality, they're not. They don't do all that, you know. And I do hold on when I go up and down stairs. Going downstairs is much, much worse. And he told me, he says, yeah, you should be holding on to rails and whatever, because if they decide to go, he said it, I forget how he described it, but he said eventually they're just going to go. There ain't no coming back from that. They're just going to go. Um, and I'm just like, so, I mean, when I was in the office, they were okay. He said, what is your pain level right now? I said, they're about a 2, you know. Um, and they've been, as long as I take that medication, I can keep the inflammation down. But that, over the years, this started when I was 23. Started way before that. But when I first saw the orthopedist, I was 23. So all these years later, it's just been that grinding. Thank God I lost so much weight, took pressure off of that. And he congratulated me for that, you know. Um, Now, so what happened to my knees is that this all started in the 10th grade. So, and I've told this story before. I laugh about it and call it my sports injury. But I was in the 10th grade and we were playing badminton, and I just turned to hit the birdie. I turned the wrong way and something snapped. And oh my God, the pain. And I couldn't even walk on my tiptoes. I couldn't put pressure on it. Now, back in those days, you had a gym teacher that said, walk it off. Just walk. I couldn't walk. I'm like literally limping. And I didn't get to go home or anything. They just didn't do that in those days. And, I got home and my parents obviously saw I couldn't walk, but we didn't go to the doctor. I just had to deal with that pain until somehow it healed on its own. It healed incorrectly. Um, and then my right knee had to compensate for my left knee for a long time. And that's how that one got worn down. And then over the years, it's just, you know, that's another reason I have to be so picky about the job that I do, because I can't do a job where I'm standing up all the time. And because I don't want to, I love the outdoors. My dream is to go hiking. But is is it a reality? Am I going to be able to? I don't know. But one day I'm going to try. If I got to take a walking stick, I'm going to try. Um, but yeah, so that prevents me from, I can't stand up for long periods of time. And I'm always so scared. I don't care how minor the step is. I'm always so scared going up any step and coming down any step. Even the curb off of a sidewalk. I am so scared because it just takes that one slip, that one wrong move. Down I go. Now I've had a couple of falls in the last few years. I remember 6 years ago, I tripped off my back porch and landed on concrete. There was one day at daycare, I tripped and fell, landed on my knees. Um, so there's been injuries to it as well. You know, I mean, for the most part, right lately it's been feeling pretty good. I've actually been feeling really good lately. Um, And again, I think that has a lot to do with my upswing, me being in such a great mood lately, is because I haven't been in any pain in the last few days, and that is so rare. Usually I'm in a lot of pain, but it is so rare that I'm not. And I didn't take the shot or anything, but ever since leaving that day, I think God did something, because ever since leaving the office that day, I have not, I don't think I've been in any pain. If I have, it's been very minor. You know, again, with God, and I do take my medication. If I miss it, I know it. So, and that contributes to my depression too. It does. Um, so, all right. All right, I'm going to get off of here. And thank you guys for listening. So if you deal with depression or you have some issues going on, let me know about them. Can be here for each other. And if you're in the way of this storm, be safe. Let me know if the storm has already passed you. Let me know what the damage was. All right. You guys be safe. Take care. God bless. Mwah. And do not worry about me. I'm a tough cookie. I am. I am. I've been through a lot. I've come through a lot, and I got God by my side, and there is nothing that I can't overcome and do. Not by my strength, by His. God bless.